Changing the LED color in your mouse to something other than red is very easy and only takes a few minutes of your time. I'll show you how. Okay, so first thing you want to do is unplug your mouse and just take it apart. And one thing I will say is if you change the LED out, depending on the color and the actual brightness of the LED, you may change the sensitivity. The mouse was designed to work with red wavelengths, and you are now changing it to something else, so it may be an undesired effect that you have, but for the price of an LED, it's, give it a shot. Now when you take, this just lifts out, sorry I just did that, and there's a little spring that hangs off the end, don't lose that. It's not the end of the world if you do, but it helps to keep everything. Gently pull the wire out, and then this plug, every mouse is going to be different, but they're generally very similar. This just unplugs. It's my multimeter beeping, just ignore that. Just leave that in the mouse case. So you have the main circuit board here. If there's, this one has a bar to hold this down, just kind of pull that loose. And this is the LED. It goes through this lens assembly. It's clipped into the board. All you do is gently pull it up. Take your soldering iron and unsolder it, pull it out. Now, when you do that, take note as to the polarity. On this board, negative is to the left, positive is to the right. They mark it. If they don't, make sure you take notice to what polarity the LED is. To get this out, some of these have this little lock. Just use a little flathead screwdriver. There's a little lock in the back that keeps the LED in place. You just bend that up. And then push the LED backwards so it comes out. Now, if you ever look at an LED, if you've never done this before, chances are if you have a soldering iron you have, but just in case. If you notice the side of the LED, one side of the LED is flat, that's the negative. The lead closest to it is negative. Or, if you look at it this way, the largest piece is going to be the negative, and that's going to be the cathode for correct terms. So I have another LED here. It's already in the right configuration. Just going to put this in. See my sound some, so you can see what I'm doing. This is the new LED. This is the green one that I'm putting in. I believe this is green. It could be blue. I forget. Of course, the whole color. Snap it back in place. Make sure that the LED is pushed in firmly. And then with it laying down, you can then solder it. Okay, so let's test it. It is blue. I thought it was green for some reason. I grabbed that out of the wrong parts bin. So there you go. That's all that you have to do. And I'm moving it around, and it is moving around on the screen. So that's all. If that's all you wanted to do, that's all you got to do. And then just put it back together. Now, if you did want to put another LED in it like I did, all you have to do is get a resistor. Now that depends on what color you're going to use. You can use different resistor calculators on the internet to find out what you want. Generally, you're going to use between 150 or 100 to 150 ohm resistor, depending on the LED. If you're using a red LED, it's going to be about 150 ohm. If you're using a green or a super bright blue, you're going to use a 100 ohm. But find that out. Find out from what you're buying and look at the specs of the LEDs that you're buying. Go to one of the LED calculators online, put in these specs, and it'll tell you. It's going to be for a 5-volt source because you're going to be pulling it off of USB, and I'll put a link down below to a couple of the calculators. And what you would do is solder this to the 5-volt lead from the USB, put the other end to an LED, put the other end of the LED, to the ground, and whenever you plug this into the USB, it'll turn on just like this one did. I'll even show you how I did that. Now, I'm gonna warn you, this isn't going to be pretty. I did this for myself. I didn't really care what it looked like, although it's not too bad. It's a little dusty though. This is super glued in, or not super glued. This is hot glued in, so I can't really take it out. And this is actually a true green. It looks yellow on camera, but it's actually very vivid green. This resistor here, if you can see that, goes around to. Let's see if we can find out what pin that is. I believe it's the first pin, but I could be wrong. Been wrong many times. Okay, so the resistor is going to the third one in, which is red, so that would be the 5 volts, the positive 5 volts, and then the other line is going to the black, which is ground. And that way, whenever this is plugged in, regardless if this LED lights up, this one always does. With this LED, or this one, you don't have to worry about resistors because they're usually self-regulated within the mouse. With this, you do because you're pulling directly off the 5-volt line. Okay, now we gotta get this back together. This one's all. Oh, and I kind of painted this a little bit silver, and I put some tinfoil in here just to reflect the light some. When you're sitting at home and you're bored and you have nothing better to do, these are the stupid things that you come up with. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're in the same boat. That's it. So let's put this back together. This is all low voltage, so I'm not worried. With this spring, this gives some resistance to pushing it down. So you put this in. Just want to make sure that this spring, there's 2 little hooks that it lays on, and you'll see it when you can see that. Okay. And you can use any color you want, provided that it works with the optical sensor. Or the optical pickup. There's your comparison. And it works just fine. So what's an LED? 30 cents? So for 30 cents, in a few minutes of your time, you can do that. You can also use green ones if you want. If you have any questions, as usual, put them in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer if I'm able to. And I'll see you next time.